15 years old, I had started dabbling in marijuana usage. My father wasn't around my whole life, and I quit school to get a job. Uh, Also dabbling in theft and things of that nature. That's how I lived my life. I basically resided my life at 15 to life stinks. There's nothing that really matters, and I'm going to take as much out of life as I can get. I spent most of my life from the age of 15 to 22 incarcerated. And mainly it was because of drug use and trying to support that drug use. At the age of 22, though, I was free, and on the night of March 23rd, 2002, my life would change in a major way. I actually was with some friends, and we were getting ready to go out to the bar for the night, and his truck died right in the middle of the intersection. So we're like, what do we do? Well, we thought, well, we'll just get out and we'll push it around the corner. As we're pushing that vehicle, a man came and hit us while we were pushing it. I was impacted, and as I was trying to get up, I realized that I couldn't move my legs, and I actually died at the scene. I saw a light, and so I was going to the light, and all of a sudden something stopped me. And I saw my whole life, as they say, flash before your eyes. But it was from a different perspective, and I saw all the things I had done wrong, all the people I had hurt. As I'm seeing this, they're trying to save me on the street, and I was losing blood with every heartbeat. They can't find a tourniquet to go over my leg. The ambulance didn't have one. So a lady driving down the road who was an intern at the hospital, she had a full tourniquet kit in her trunk. As I'm on the other side, I'm not in my body, God said, "Are you sure you're ready?" And I said, "No, I'm not ready." And at that moment, she revived me, and I woke up and I told her, "I'm not ready to die." And she said, "You're going to be just fine." I've looked back at this many times over my life and said, why, Lord, did it have to come to that? He reminds me sometimes that while we were pushing that vehicle, there was a moment in time where somebody next to me said, "Hey, we should turn around and push with our backs." And at that moment when he said that, I had a vision that I was going to be hit by a vehicle. The Lord tried to save me from that. It was the road that I chose in my stubbornness. That began a new chapter in my life. At this moment in time, I'm in this weird place where I know God is real, but I don't know Jesus. Life was really, really bad. I can't really explain it. Something came over me, and I saw a vision of everything that I had been doing and what I had been chasing. And I saw that all of it was completely empty. It was worth nothing. It was actually killing me. And in that moment, I felt the full love of Christ come into my heart. And I was all by myself, and I cried, and I cried, and I had this moment of repentance. I said, "You know what, Lord? I lay it all down. Everything I've ever done has never worked." And it was almost like this time of reflection with the Lord and me saying, I was wrong. I'm a sinner. I'm broken. I just can't do this. He just kept pouring his love out on me. In that moment, my whole desires in life changed. I literally knew that I was never the same, and I never wanted to do the things that I did. And God just was with me every step of the way. So I had no way to support myself. He brought people into my life. I met my wife, Christina. The Lord brought her to me in the most amazing way. We were actually childhood sweethearts. She came back into my life after my accident, and we kind of started a friendship over. And when I realized that she was the one was one day when she looked at me and she said, "We should go to church." And we started going to church, and then we had 2 children in quick succession. This is how I really got here today. I never knew a father. I always thought the other boys around me had something over me because they had fathers. I was a stay-at-home father because at this time I'm on crutches and a wheelchair. And mind you, I'm dealing with still PTSD, depression, and working through these things, but I have 2 young boys. And one day I just realized I can't handle it. I decided to pray. And I fell down on my knees. I said, "Lord, I don't know what you want me to do here. This is not who I am. I'm not a father. I've never seen a father, never had anybody teach me to be a father." And the Lord spoke to my heart. He said, "Jeff, I'm going to be your father. I'm going to teach you to be a husband and a father." Honestly, that is how I got here today. God called me to be a father, and He's led me in that. My oldest son is Isaiah. He was actually born deaf. We got a cochlear implant for him, and he hears now, and he's a miracle. He's just a wonderful example of overcoming. And then we have Isaac. He has a hunger for life that reminds me of my own. Well, then we have Eli. He is nonverbal. He is on the autism spectrum, and my days are spent homeschooling him and taking care of him. And then my daughter Annie, she is the princess. She is sweet, loving, kind, caring. Yeah, she's the princess. God called me into ministry about 5 years ago, first to my wife and my family, then to my church, and then to the youth. The love of God is what changed my life. He gives me energy, He gives me strength. All I want to do at this point in my life is serve Him. That is what wakes me up. That is my drug of choice, I guess, if you will, is the excitement of walking with Jesus. And this is not a story about me. This is a story about God's redemption plan for a broken individual. And the story continues. And so we're just going to keep moving forward with the Lord.